The life and legacy of King Genseric, the man who sacked Rome. The Roman Empire's crumbling foundations marked one of the most transformative periods in world history. Amid the chaos of its collapse, a controversial figure emerged on the scene: King Genseric of the Vandals. His leadership would profoundly alter the Mediterranean's political landscape, but his story has often been overshadowed by others in the annals of history. Today, we explore the life of Genseric, a man of vision, determination, and complex loyalties, whose actions irreversibly shifted the balance of power in late antiquity. Born in the late 4th century CE in what historians presume to be modern-day Hungary, Genseric came from modest beginnings. He was the second son of King Genseric, leader of the Vandals, a Germanic tribe plagued by persecution and displacement in a Roman-dominated world. This was an era of mass migrations where survival dictated constant movement, shifting alliances, and often conflict. Initially, Genseric's role seemed limited, as the second son rarely ascends to power. However, the precarious position of the Vandals and the political chaos of the time would soon provide an unexpected path forward for the young leader. Following his brother Genderic's death in 428 CE, Genseric seized his opportunity. Rising to leadership with cunning and ambition, he was determined to secure a future for his people no matter the cost. Under Genseric's leadership, the Vandals embarked on one of the most audacious journeys in their history. Already weary from displacement within Europe, their eyes turned toward North Africa, a region of immense wealth and strategic importance. In 429 CE, with around 80,000 followers, Genseric crossed the Strait of Gibraltar and entered Roman-controlled North Africa. The journey itself was perilous, fraught with logistical challenges and resistance from local powers. Yet Genseric demonstrated remarkable resilience and strategic brilliance in overcoming these hurdles. By 439 CE, just a decade after their arrival, the Vandals seized Carthage, the jewel of the Mediterranean. This victory not only provided the Vandals with a new homeland, but also allowed them control over North Africa's lucrative grain supplies, which had long been vital to Rome. Perhaps the most infamous chapter of Genseric's life is the sack of Rome in 455 CE. At the time, the Western Roman Empire was in decline, plagued by internal corruption and external pressures. Genseric exploited this instability with calculated precision. When tensions arose over a broken betrothal between his son Huneric and a Roman princess, Genseric launched an attack on the Eternal City. His forces entered Rome, allegedly after being invited by Empress Liciniia Eudoxia, who sought revenge for her family's political misfortunes. The sack of Rome that ensued was both ruthless and disciplined. Unlike other barbarian invasions, Genseric's troops avoided unnecessary destruction, focusing instead on the systematic looting of valuables. Sacred sites and structures were largely spared, though the term vandalize would later tarnish his name. The sack solidified Genseric's reputation as a shrewd military leader and an implacable enemy of Rome. He had not only humiliated the empire but also demonstrated the Vandals' rising power, solidifying their status as a Mediterranean force to be reckoned with. Having secured Carthage and much of North Africa, Genseric transformed the Vandals from nomadic warriors into rulers of an established kingdom. This transition required more than military prowess. It demanded political savvy and administrative skill. Genseric utilized many aspects of Roman governance to bring stability to his diverse realm. Roman officials were often retained in their administrative positions, and existing trade networks were preserved to maintain economic prosperity. However, tensions simmered beneath the surface. Genseric was an adherent of Arian Christianity, considered heretical by the Nicene Christian majority in the region. Religious policies under his rule were strict, particularly toward the Roman elite, who faced persecution for their beliefs. This created significant friction within the kingdom, testing Genseric's ability to maintain unity. Beyond his achievements on land, Genseric's dominion extended to the seas. He built a formidable navy that came to dominate the Mediterranean, earning the Vandals a reputation as ruthless pirates. His fleet disrupted Roman trade routes, attacked coastal towns, and ensured that even the Eastern Roman Empire remained wary of his power. Genseric's naval dominance showcased his strategic foresight. By controlling the Mediterranean, he not only enhanced his kingdom's prosperity, but also crippled the economic backbone of his enemies. His naval campaigns highlighted a truth of his reign. Genseric was as much a statesman and economist as he was a warrior. Despite their diminishing strength, both the Western and Eastern Roman empires sought to challenge Genseric's expansion. Leaders such as Majorian launched campaigns to reclaim Carthage, but Genseric outmaneuvered them each time. His defensive strategies utilized both natural geography and calculated military tactics to thwart larger, better-equipped armies. The Vandals' continued successes further eroded the moldering foundations of the Western Roman Empire. By the mid-5th century, Genseric had established the Vandals not merely as another barbarian threat, but as one of Rome's primary adversaries. Genseric ruled for nearly 50 years, an astonishingly long reign for the time. His death in 477 CE marked the end of an era, but not the end of his kingdom. Under his leadership, the Vandals had built a stable and prosperous realm that would endure for several decades after his passing. However, history has not been kind to Genseric. Written primarily from Roman perspectives, early accounts portrayed him as a barbarian conqueror, intent on destruction. This bias distorts the complexity of his rule. Genseric was not merely a pillager. He was a master of adaptation and innovation, ensuring the survival and success of his people during one of the most tumultuous periods in history. King Genseric's life offers invaluable insight into the fragility of empires and the power of resilience. He was a leader who thrived amid chaos, exploiting opportunities others failed to see. Under his guidance, the Vandals defied the odds, carving out a legacy that would ripple through centuries. Yet, Genseric's story is not only about conquest and empire building. It is also a tale of adaptability, leadership, and survival in an unforgiving world. For history enthusiasts eager to explore the intricate transformations of late antiquity, his story is both compelling and essential. Through this documentary, we hope to shed light on the life of Genseric, a man far more complex than the villain Rome made him out to be. His reign marked the beginning of the end for the Western Roman Empire and demonstrated how even the smallest of tribes could rise to shape the course of history. While his name may not be as renowned as others, King Genseric's legacy is worth remembering. He was not merely a destroyer of empires, he was the architect of a new Mediterranean order,